Okay. From the reading, I read about three different corporate um, employees that have devoted their lives to the company that they work for, and that's the main word that you have to listen to in this conversation is devoted. I find from the reading that these people chose to make a devotion to the wrong entity in their lives. Um, a career, a job is exactly what it is. It provides you with the needs or the financial needs to accomplish something in society. And how you take this on is based on how you take that as a value. And I have no pity, in other words, for what they've done, because they have contributed to a corporation or corporations that really don't care about anybody that is employed or even buys their products or uses it. In today's corporate world, these corporations are just like slave masters back in the 17 and 1800s, where they use their employees or people that are under them to their benefits, no matter what it is, and they're paying them nothing. They're literally paying nothing. Six-figure salary is change for most of these corporations. These CEOs, CEFs, CFOs, and all these are making millions. Even if they fail at their job, they're giving them stock options that are worth millions of dollars, and they're not productive where these employees are being productive. And like one of the person that was reading for that corporation, that got a low raise after he came through on a great deal for the company. So there, of course, there's no loyalty in society. Loyalty is paid by loyalty. I'm loyal to my friend, and he becomes loyal to me. It's a give and take, and this is just like the workplace in the 40s and 50s. People were loyal to their employer because these companies, these small companies, mom and pop companies that we call now, were small, but they were still large enough to hold 100, 200 employees. But the owner was the one that was there every day talking to the employees, finding out about their families, how they are. They remember birthdays, they remember anniversaries, and they were celebrated. They were distinguished. They were recognized for what they did for that company because the owner saw it, experienced, worked with these people. Nowadays, it's a bunch of people that sit thousands of miles away from the company that you work for, and they're called shareholders, and all they care about is, I gave you $1 million to start up this company, and you promised me X amount of money, and I want my money. No matter, I don't care who you have to cut out or leave unemployed, homeless, jobless, foodless. I want my money. And these owners or these companies that do that, they take the money out of their employees. They don't give them raises. The benefits are cut back to make sure that their shareholders are satisfied. So what happens is that these employees, there has to be a rebellion in the ranks of employees, where we stop doing the devil's work. In other words, we stop and we let these companies fail, for them to recognize that the important ones are the ones on the bottom floor, not on the top. Yeah, you could get millions, but if the product doesn't sell or the product isn't good, you'll lose those millions. So they have to invest back into the company, not into these shareholders. Shareholders are just people that just gave money for you to start up a company. The employees are the ones that are making this company move forward or losing. And that's what I see. A lot of American companies are failing because they're not taking care of their workers, and people are starting to recognize that there is no loyalty among their employers. They don't care. You are just a number on the floor that is producing other numbers. and and I have no pity. I've worked in various jobs due to my age. I worked in the corporate, and I worked in the private and the government, and I found out that like government or private, and I mean private where it's a small mom and pop store, is more beneficial to my lifestyle than living in the corporate work and making that big money and having that nice office, because you don't enjoy the money you get. You don't enjoy the financial security or so-called, because that's not even true anymore, because they can fire you tomorrow. So you're not receiving anything but making them more money. So, in the bottom line is that we have to turn around and fight. That's why, again, unions and other are beneficial to the employment here in the United States. And we have to get back to our families, because we're seeing the catastrophe that is creating outside of our homes. Children are doing whatever they want because the parents aren't home. They're working 12, 16 hours a day. So there's no supervision. There's no involvement in government entities to overwatch what they do, because you're too busy doing something else, for your job. So everything is running amok because most of the employees are at work and they have no time for anything else. They come home, they plop on that sofa, and they go to work. Their children are being raised by nannies or caretakers, and they have no relationship, no basic establishment with these children. For instance, I dated an accountant, and she wanted to be the best accountant, and she would work 12 hours a day, and I would stay with her children. It's a blended family, and I was the one that was at home because I had a government job. I worked 8 hours. I was home, and I was happy, and I'm still happy. And she says, "Oh, I love what I work," but I would look at her and she would be miserable. She'll miss out on baseball games of her two boys. Yeah, the money was good, but what good is it if you're not using it? And I told her that, and I said, you putting in all these days, during tax season, they work Saturdays and Sundays. You're not getting anything in return. The time that you're losing with your family, you'll never, ever, ever get it back. So the next time you choose a job, make sure that it's beneficial not only in your pocket, but in your life, because the stress will kill you. And your children will begin to hate you because you're not there when they need you. So I find no pity. I have no pity for these people. I have no empathy. They sought out and they made the deal with the devil and they laid in it, and that's on them now to cure their own disease that they caused. Work and live properly. The big house, the colonial big house, and the fancy car is not going to make you a better person, and it's not going to buy time to spend with your family, which is the most important part, and your health. One is your health, your happiness, and your legacy that you leave behind. These companies will not give you credit for anything that you do. They will take the credit. It's a saying. It says, no soldier gets famed, but only the generals. And you're the soldier. You're the foot soldier on the floor doing the jobs. These people are sitting in offices and they're taking the credit, and their credit is the financial stability, financial assets that you're giving them, and I mean large quantities. Because if you notice the pay gap between the highest paid employee and the highest paid executive officer, there's a gap there that you could fit 2 buildings in it. So that's one thing that you have to think about when you seek out an employer. Be happy and make sure that it gives you access time for you, your life, your tranquility, your stress, everything. Because money, you can't take it with you when you die, and time, you can't buy it with all that 6-figure money that you get. Okay? That's it.